Lots of foods can act like skincare from the inside out, but some foods in particular give you a real bang for your buck. The food we're going to talk about today is a prime example of that. I'm going to tell you what this food is, exactly what it does for your skin, and how to eat it for maximum skin benefit. A quick hello if you're new here. My name is Fiona. I'm a registered nutritionist with a master's degree in nutritional medicine, and on this channel we talk about nutritional skincare, which is the concept that the food that you eat can be an easy and effective part of your skincare routine. If you haven't already, hit the subscribe button to make sure you're the first to get all the latest science-backed tips. So what is this food? You may or may not be surprised to know that we are talking about the humble flaxseed. So we know that humans have been eating flaxseed for thousands of years, and for good reason, because it is chock full of nutrients. Flaxseed is one of the best plant-based sources of healthy omega-3 fats. It's brimming with fiber, it's a good source of protein, it has the skin-friendly nutrients vitamin E and vitamin B3, and it also contains other phytonutrients too. Now you probably have an awareness that all these things are good for you, but flaxseed is a true functional food, which means its effect goes beyond its simple nutritional value. So we have some small but pretty compelling studies that show what flaxseed can do for your skin when you eat it regularly. So let's take a look at some of those benefits. Flaxseed soothes skin sensitivity. One study gave women either 2 grams of flaxseed or 2 grams of safflower oil daily for 12 weeks. At the end of those 12 weeks, they purposefully irritated a patch of their skin with a chemical compound. And what they found was that the women who had been having flaxseed oil had half as much redness after the irritation. Now, research suggests that 1 in 2 of us identify with having sensitive or overly reactive skin. So it's useful to know that regularly consuming flaxseed can actually help to calm your skin. 2. Flaxseed boosts hydration. The same study showed that flaxseed oil boosted skin hydration by 39% after 12 weeks. Just as a reference point, a standard moisturizer will boost your skin hydration by about 20 to 25% after a single application. So flaxseed oil is acting like moisturizer from the inside out. What's happening is that those healthy omega-3 fats are getting into your skin cell membranes, making them nice and strong and helping them to hold on to water, which leads me to my next point, which is flaxseed boosts skin barrier function. So that study and another one found that regularly consuming flaxseed oil helps to reduce transepidermal water loss. Now, transepidermal water loss is just a fancy way of measuring your skin barrier function. One of these studies shows that flaxseed oil reduced transepidermal water loss by 31%. Now, again, just to compare, another study looking at a standard moisturizer in rosacea-prone skin showed that it reduced transepidermal water loss by 15%, but then the effect diminished within 24 hours. So in this case, you could say that flaxseed is actually more effective than skincare over the longer term. What's really cool is that this effect might be mediated in part by your gut bacteria. So newer animal research shows that when we eat high fiber foods like flaxseed, our gut bacteria take that fiber and turn it into special substances that travel in our bloodstream, get to our skin, where they nourish and strengthen our skin barrier. So that is your gut-skin axis in action. Next, flaxseed enhances skin smoothness. Both these studies that I've mentioned show that flaxseed oil helps to enhance skin smoothness. And as you can see from these images, flaxseed oil reduced scaling and roughness by about 1/3 after 12 weeks. In real life, that translates to a more even texture and a more youthful looking complexion. And finally, flaxseed accelerates wound healing. Another study looking at diabetic foot ulcers showed that taking flaxseed oil could help to speed up the healing process. This potential to speed up healing isn't just related to foot ulcers. It's relevant to any minor injury, whether that's a small scratch or a blemish or a breakout that you want to clear up. Because of its phytonutrient content, flaxseed has a broadly anti-inflammatory effect, which helps to restore healthy skin. How can you eat flaxseed? So if you have an eagle eye for detail, you might have noticed that all the studies I've mentioned use flaxseed oil supplements, and that's partly because supplements are just easier to quantify in a study situation. There are actually 3 main ways you can eat flaxseed: whole flaxseed, ground flaxseed, and flaxseed oil. So let's take a look at some of the pros and cons of each of those. Whole flaxseed. The main benefit to this one is that it's the most shelf stable, but in practice you don't get that much nutrition from it because the seeds are really hard for your body to digest. So I might use whole flax seeds to sprinkle on some baked goods, but I wouldn't rely on them as my main source of flaxseed. Ground flaxseed. Now this one is partly broken down, so it's more easy for you to digest. So you get a good amount of protein, you get a good amount of fiber, and you get a similar amount of healthy omega-3 fat to the flaxseed oil. The main disadvantage to this one is that in an ideal world, you would grind your flaxseed fresh every time you eat it. So what that means is that you would get your whole flaxseed, pop them in a coffee grinder and grind them up there and then. And let's be honest, that gets quite tedious. The next best thing would be to buy your flaxseed from a health food store where they can grind it for you fresh on the day that you buy it. Flaxseed oil. Now this one is really easy to take as supplements, but bear in mind that this advice isn't personalized to you and you must check in with your doctor before you start any new supplements. And you can also have flaxseed oil as a culinary oil. The main issue is that it's really not shelf stable. You have to be fastidious about keeping it in the fridge and you need to eat it quickly before it oxidizes. So if you had a bottle of flaxseed culinary oil, you'd really need to use it up in about a week. Out of all three, my favorite way to eat it is as ground flaxseed. That's because you get all the benefits of flaxseed oil and you get protein and fiber and other nutrients. How much do you need to eat? So most studies use 2 grams of flaxseed oil daily. Now that's about half a teaspoon of culinary oil or about 2 to 4 capsules depending on the supplement brand you choose. Now studies looking into other health conditions typically use about 15 to 30 grams of ground flaxseed, which is about 1 to 2 heaped tablespoons. The good news is that gives you about 4 grams of healthy omega-3 fats, which is an equivalent amount to taking the 2 to 4 capsules of flaxseed oil. How do you eat it? Now the best thing about ground flaxseed is that it's really versatile. Some of my favorite ways to eat it include stirring it into my porridge or my oatmeal in the morning, sprinkling it over salads, and also stirring it into soups and stews. If you're looking for more ideas on how to include it into your diet, I will pop a slide here that you can screenshot for inspiration. So to sum up, flaxseed can be great for your skin, but just to clarify, I am not suggesting that you throw out all your skincare and just eat flaxseed instead. Absolutely not, because the right skincare can be a really powerful tool. What I am saying is that alongside your skincare routine, eating flaxseed can be a really easy way to enhance your skin from the inside out. Thank you for watching. I hope you found that interesting. If you did, please like and please subscribe, and I will see you next time for another video on nutritional skincare.